Hi, this video will look at the Mackenzie Health Surgical Assistants on-call scheduling app for use by the administrator. When you follow the link to the app, you will land on the page to enter your credentials, this page. Select Admin at the top. Do not enter as a physician. Enter the admin password and click Sign In. Let's look at the left-hand pane first. The top option is Schedules. If you are into the Schedules section, the Schedules button in the left-hand pane will be highlighted. On the right side, you will see schedules that have been created. You can choose to manage any of the previously created schedules or create a new monthly schedule. Below the Schedules button on the left, there is the Physician button. Click on this on the right hand, and then on the right hand side you will see a list of all physicians that you have registered into the system. There is a counter by the Physician button indicating the number of physicians currently enrolled in the on-call system. Below that is an indicator that you are logged in as administrator. Below that is a password reset button for the administrator, and below that is a logout button to click on when you have completed your session. Let's start with clicking on the Physicians button. On the right side, you will now see a list of all the registered physicians organized alphabetically by their last name. We can try to add a physician. There is an Add Physician button at the top. Let's click on the Add Physician button. This opens a physician entry box. Enter the name as displayed and an email address. I won't do this right now because YouTube will not allow visual publication of an email address. But what you would do is put in the name, like Dr. Jane Smith, and an email address, and click on Add Physician. Once you do this, the physician's name and information will be added to the list of physicians registered to the on-call group. I'll close this box for now. For any physician, if you want to edit the data, once you hover over their card, a pencil icon will appear, which will indicate you can edit it. You click on that and the physician entry screen will come up again, and you can change the information. To remove a physician, click on the trash can and the physician's name will be removed from the physician's directory. For every physician, a temporary passcode has been generated. If you want to see it, you can click on the eyeball. To copy it, you can click on the copy sign here and it will appear on your clipboard. In order to enter the system for the first time, each physician will need to have their temporary passcode emailed to them. They can then use that to enter the system, and then they will be prompted to create a personal permanent passcode. If they ever forget their passcode, you can click on the eyeball and it will be displayed, and you can send it back to them should they request it. You can also regenerate a new random passcode and the system will reset as though they are entering the system for the first time. They can put in the temporary passcode and then create a new permanent one. Next, let's click on the Schedules section in the left pane. The right side will now show once again a display of all the previously created schedules with a button to allow you to create new schedules. Let's click on a previously made schedule. I will click on May 2026 where it says Manage Schedule. This schedule has already been created, so the names of doctors who have been assigned shifts are already listed on the May 26 roster calendar that is displayed. There are many blanks. Suppose you gave this schedule to the group and somebody offered to work on one of the blank shifts. you could click on the shift in the calendar and manually change that. Let's click on May 3rd, blank shift. This will open an override shift dialog box. You can now click on the drop-down menu and enter the name of a physician who will cover this shift. And click Apply Override. Now that doctor's name appears on the schedule. Suppose you want to change a shift that is already assigned. Let's try and change the shift for Dr. Yam on Wednesday the 13th. We're going to click on it. And then all we need to do is pick a new name and apply the override. And the name changes on the calendar. Now suppose you want to change this, we'll click on it again, and split the shift into a day and a night shift. You can move it from 24-hour to split day and night, and then put a different physician on the day shift and the night shift and apply the override. And that's how it will appear on the schedule. Once your calendar is finalized, you can go create a PDF version of the calendar. At the top there is a download PDF file. I'll click on it. And this will open a PDF version that you could print or save to your phone or computer. That PDF version was sent to your download folder, and should you need to look at it again, you will find it there. Next, let's click on the Schedules button again to see all the schedules, and let's create a new schedule. On the top right, there's a new schedule button. We'll click on that. We'll choose a month, let's say January 2026, and ask it to create a monthly calendar for January 2026, which now appears as one of the monthly rosters. Let's go into the January calendar. You'll see over here there's the roster calendar, which is now being displayed. Let's click over to the Shift Request button. You'll see there are no shift requests yet for this month because we just created it, and there is an Add Request button on the right. If we click on that, a shift request form appears, and we can choose a physician and add shift requests for that doctor if we wish. When we're done, we would submit the form. Let's just put one in for now. And now you'll see the doctor's name comes up on a card showing that he made a request for one 24-hour shift, which is what we entered. This is what I used to create the test month of May 2026. Let's go back to the schedules and look again at May 2026 and click on Manage the Schedule. I'll now click on the Shift Request button. You'll see that up at the top there are 55 shift requests. Well, 55 doctors that have submitted shift requests. And here they are. For any month, as doctors add their shift requests, they will appear under this tab, Shift Requests. Once all doctor requests have been added, go to the top and you can run the assignment for this month. This tells the app to create a schedule using the shift requests that have been entered. Once this is done for the first time, all physicians are locked out of making any changes to their shift requests or adding any new requests. They will have to contact you directly to enter any new changes for them for this month. You can now make any changes or adjustments that you want, and when you are done, click the Send to Physicians button, and the schedule will be sent to all physicians in the group. For each shift request submitted by a doctor, you can see a summary of their request. For instance, for Dr. Agate here, 2 24-hour shifts requested and 2 dates available. If you were to click on the Edit button, the shift request for that physician would appear. You can then edit or change it if you like, changing how many shifts you want to give them or that they're requesting, or change the order of the general roster site preference, or even change the dates and then save the changes. Please watch the guide for physicians using Mackenzie Health On-Call Scheduling app video to learn how to enter or modify shift requests. It works exactly the same way for you as the administrator. For May 2026, I have previously clicked the Run Assignment button and created a schedule. Once again, once you have done this for any month, the physicians are locked out of making any further changes or edits to their shift requests. They will see a flag above the month saying that it is under review. Any changes at this point that a doctor wants to make must be submitted to the administrator to make the changes for that physician for that month. Once you have made as many changes as is necessary, you can click Run the Assignment and a new roster calendar will be created, taking into consideration all the changes that you have made. Let's take a look down the list of physician requests. You will see that some of them may be highlighted differently. I'm going to see if there is one here. This one has an amber border and is highlighted. This indicates that this doctor, after you ran the assignment, was not assigned any shifts at all. This is most likely due to other physicians requesting the same slot, so that the slots requested by this doctor were already taken. If you need to make manual adjustments, you can either make the changes to some of the doctor's shift requests and rerun the assignment, or click over to the roster calendar and manually make the changes. Let's slide down to the bottom of the shift request list. Here you will see a list of physicians that have not entered a request for the month. This will either be because they have not gotten around to doing so, or they do not want to be on the schedule for this month. It would be best to contact these doctors before running an assignment for the first time and remind them to schedule their request so that they can be included on the schedule for the month if that is what they want to do. Next, let's scroll back up to the top. And we're going to take a look at the analytics section, which is just to the right of the shift requests. In the analytics section, you can look deeper into selections made by the doctors and manipulate groups of requests to help fill the schedule. It is meant to assist you in making changes to the schedule without the need for multiple manual changes. The first tool we will look at is availability by date. So let's click on that. It will display a calendar for the month. Click on any date, and you will be able to see all the doctors who made themselves available for a shift on that date and the type of shift requested. For instance, here you can see that there are 4 requests for this date, and that these are the 4 doctors, and these are the types of shifts that they requested. Let's go back to the top and go back to analytics. We'll now look at the second tool, split 24-hour requests. This tool displays a list of all physicians who requested a 24-hour shift. Sometimes they are blocked from being assigned a date because someone else has been assigned a half-day shift on the day that this person wanted a 24-hour shift. If you click on the circle beside the name of a physician or a group of physicians, and then click the Apply button at the bottom. The app will convert the selected physician's 24-hour request into a 12-hour day request and a 12-hour night request. You can then run the assignment again at the top and look at the roster calendar to see if more shifts have been covered this way. If this was not helpful and you want to undo this action, there is a way to do so. Let's run the request first. Apply split. Now those physicians' requests have been split into a 12-hour day and 12-hour night shift. And we can see that here. And an undo button has appeared. By clicking the undo button, you can reverse this request. You can run the assignment once you have made the changes and applied them, and look at the roster calendar to see if more shifts have been covered. If this was not helpful, you can go back to the Split 24-Hour Requests tab and undo it. And the change will be reversed and restored to previous. Note, if you use this tool, you can only toggle between the Split Shift tool and the calendar roster to keep the undo button available. Once you leave these two pages or do anything else in the app, the undo button will disappear and the change will be permanent and no longer reversible. Now let's go back to Analytics and look at the last tool. Add a day. We'll click on that. Click on this tool, and here again you will see a list of all physicians in the system. Click on the check circle next to any physician. If you then run the Apply button at the bottom, this tool will add one 24-hour shift and one 12-hour shift request to this doctor's submitted request. In essence, it will allow you to ask, what if I want to assign one more shift to this checked off physician? Once you click Apply, the extra shift requests will be added. You can then run the assignment and see if more shifts are covered and where. To reverse this, click the Undo button that will appear at the top. Once again, if you leave this tool for anything other than the calendar roster, the change will be considered permanent and the Undo button will disappear. Let's go back to Schedules. Look at the monthly schedules that are created. The May 2026 schedule is still in the list of active schedules. When May has passed and you want to store it away without erasing it, click on the Archive button. It will be sent to the Archive section. Let's click on the Archive section. This will display the schedules that have been archived and no longer need to be available. If you want to restore it, there is a Restore button. If you want to remove it entirely from the system, there's a trash can icon that you can click on to do so. It will not go to Archive Schedules then, it will be simply erased. Once you are completely done managing the schedules, you can leave the system by clicking on the Logout button. That's where we are with the scheduling app right now. If there are more features that you want to add, let me know and we can make changes. The app is now ready for a live trial. We can go live with the July, August, and September calendars and reassess how we are doing after this is completed.